Okay, for lesson 2, we're going to continue with the basics. This may seem really basic for some of you, but I want to cover all the bases for anybody who's starting from square one, who's never played the piano before, or had any music lessons. So, need to cover this stuff. First is up and down on the piano. When I say up, I'm always talking about up in pitch, so that's going to be moving to the right on the piano. See the arrow going to the right? So, as I go up, I'm going to the right. Now when I write some notes on the whiteboard, and I'll put like, a C, and then I'll put an E higher than that, going this way after it, and I'll say it's up, it's higher, and you'll go to the right on the keyboard. So the main thing is that up always translates to the right on the keyboard from whatever point you're starting on. Okay, so if you start on a C, and I say go up to a G, well then you'll go to the right, to this G right here. If I say go down to a G, down is to the left, the opposite direction. So if you're on the middle C, and I say, okay, now go down to a G, you're going to go to the left, to the very next G. So down is this way, and up is that way on the piano, or on a keyboard. And the next thing is a sharp and a flat. Sometimes you'll see this tic-tac-toe board sign in front of, or right after a letter. Like if I have a D, then I have the sharp sign right after it, so that tic-tac-toe board means sharp, so the name of the note would be D sharp. Well, D sharp is a totally different note than a D. If I just say D, it's the white key. But if I say D sharp, you're going to go to the right 1/2 step. So you're going to go up 1/2 step, and all that means is you're going to go to the very next key this way, whether it's a black key or a white key. So this is D, and this note therefore would be D sharp, this black key. Okay? Let's try another. If I said C sharp, what would you do? Here's a C. If I said C sharp, we're going to go this way 1/2 step. So you wouldn't go to this black key, that's too far. We're going to go to the very next one, whether black or white. Now I'll show you a weird one. Let's say if we had the note called E sharp. This is a very rare occurrence, but I want to show it to you anyway. This is the note E, right? Well, I said play E sharp. You're going to go to the right to the very next key, whether black or white. You're not going to go to this black key because the white key here is the very next one. I know you say, well, that's F. Just call it F. Well, this note has two different names. It can be called F or it can be called E sharp. And I could really get technical and explain that, but let's not do that yet. Just know that a sharp is to the right, the very next key, whether black or white, and that's called a 1/2 step. That's why I wrote 1/2 step there. Now, flat is the reverse. If I see this lowercase b sign right after a note, let's say I had, I don't know, A flat. Okay? So I'll find an A. Now what do? It's flatted because of the flat sign. I want to go down to the left to the very next key, whether black or white. So I'm going to go to this black key here. I'm not going to go this way because that's to the right. That'd be what a sharp would do. Let's go down to the very next key, whether black or white. So here's an A flat. Now here's the thing. This black key can also be called G sharp. It has two different names, but it's the same pitch, the same sounding note, even though they have two different names. There's a very good reason for that. And again, we'll get into it maybe a lot later. But so if I had G sharp, here's G, so G sharp would be this note. Same key, G sharp and A flat are the same note. All right, let's try one last one, and then we'll move on to lesson 3. Let's try a C flat. Okay, let's find a C. Now, to do a C flat, we want to go which way? To the left, down to the very next key, whether black or white. It's not going to be the black key here. It's going to be this note right here, which is also called B. Right? So it has two different names. It has the name B, or it can be called C flat, but it's the same sounding pitch. Alright, so there we've discussed up and down on the piano, and also what flats and sharps are. Let's proceed to lesson 3.